Hello and welcome to I Am Geek. This is episode 273. Happy May the 4th. I'm Catron and I'm joined by my good pal Chris. And tonight, Ryan is celebrating May the 4th, the best way I know how to celebrate May the 4th. And he's on the Halcyon, the Galactic Star Cruiser at Walt Disney World. Chris, he's living his dream. Yeah, he's cosplaying and playing with other Star Wars nerds.
He's out in space somehow. I guess traveling through space and back in time a long time ago. Like, I'm not sure how that works.
How does that work?
Because I mean, when you're making your way onto the ship, are you traveling back in time and then the ship takes you through space?
That's true.
Or is it a simultaneous trip?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure how that works.
Yeah, I'm not either. It's all space rocket surgery to me, so I don't know. One day we'll figure it out. They do get to ride in a converted moving van or something, right, to go back and forth to Batuu, and
maybe the van reaches 88 miles per hour.
It might.
And that's what happens.
So I'm jealous that he's there, but we're here. We're going to keep the boat moving. And you can he hasn't been posting on his social media like I thought he would. I was going to say you could watch him on his social media on Instagram on iamGEEKshow, but he's not been doing it.
He's engulfed. He's just immersed.
He's very immersed. That's what we hope. We hope he's still alive. We have no idea.
They don't have Instagram in Star Wars universe. So he is like into it. It's like going to a Renaissance fair. You can't pull out your phone. Like,
that's true. That's out of character. So they probably said, put away your data pad.
Yeah, probably so.
So I'm sure we'll hear all about it next week or in a couple of weeks when we have I Am Geek on again. Next week we will have Living with the Landspeeder, the new show. And we don't know what ride we're going to do yet, but we'll figure that out. So it'll be a mystery to us all. But we had a really great time last week on Living with the Landspeeder. I did want to plug it real quick because it was a freaking amazing show. We had
good.
The voice actor James Arnold Taylor, who, if you don't know the name, you know the voice because he did the voice for and does the voice for Obi-Wan Kenobi in the animated series Clone Wars, but also in any video game that's Star Wars. He does hundreds of other voices that I had no idea he did.
Oh yeah, and the TMNT movie, the Ninja Turtle movie that was done in like the 2000s. He was Leonardo in that. That's like one of my favorite Ninja Turtle movies.
Oh man,
like that. Yeah, that episode was amazing. I was jealous sitting there. I was watching it. And
me too.
He was like naming all these like voice actors and like, I know that name. I know that name. I know that name. Oh, I love them all.
Yeah, it was crazy. And he just on without cue and without like asking him to, he would just jump into these voices. And it was amazing. I was just sat back and was blown away.
I thought it was great. He talked about like after that he had to go record some voice.
Some intros on Fox.
Next on Fox.
Yeah,
and I was just like, that's and I didn't realize he did that voice.
Yeah,
the intro for like Family Guy. I was just like, wow, that was just like I did not pick that out of his voice. That's great.
It's amazing. I listened to a little bit of his podcast. It's Talking with Myself, I believe that's what it's called, and he jumps to all these different voices. He's got some characters that are there all the time, like his tech guy and his intern is there, and they all have these different voices. But he's so good at it, at changing two different voices that you just don't realize it is him, and the way he does it, and it sounds like the guy's way over here. He's talking, he's just going back and forth in the room, but it's amazing. And I didn't realize he did those voices, and you just when you hear him talk in one, you're like, oh, well, that kind of sounds like him. But then he talks some other way, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's something different.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of my favorites was the Back to the Future though, when he did Marty and Doc. that was great.
That was good. Yeah, I think he might have done it for a video game or something. I don't know, but it was good, enjoyable.
Just got an update from Ryan. He is alive. He said he had a blast, and he won a Sabaac tournament. So congratulations!
Nice. Now, who knows when he won the Sabaac tournament? Because again, he's out in space. We're not sure when this transmission came through. Right. It could have. It was in a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So but at some point in time, he won a Sabaac tournament.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, I don't even know how to play Sabaac, so he may have he knows, and he may have just beaten people that didn't have any idea how to play. Who knows?
He's a Sabaac shark or whatever equal shark is in Star Wars universe.
Yes.
I don't know. Sabaac Bantha. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't know, but anyways, if you haven't checked out Living with the Landspeeder, please check it out. We're on anywhere you can find podcasts. We're on YouTube. Last week we Star Warsified the Pirates of the Caribbean. The theme of that show is that we Star Warsify Walt Disney World attractions, and we don't know what we're doing next, but it's going to be a lot of fun. That was a good one there with Pirates of the Caribbean. But we are trying to make Star Warsified a hashtag. So if you find a reason to use it, hashtag Star Warsify. So we'll see.
Got up and brushed my teeth this morning. Star Warsified.
That's right. Yep.
I got to come on sometime.
Yes, we have to have you on. Yes,
I would. I'm leaning towards. I would like to be on when you do the Twilight Zone, Tower of Terror.
Okay, Tower of Terror. Excellent.
That's definitely one of my favorite rides.
Yeah.
I really like the new Guardians ride.
Yes.
But yeah.
Okay.
Tower of Terror is a classic for me, and I think I have an idea for that too.
I know. I'll have to start.
I already got an idea.
Good. Yeah, I'll have to start thinking about that one. It's been an interesting, no pun intended, ride so far, but it's one of the things I've been thinking about as we go through the different rides is like, okay, I don't want to use the same theme twice if I can help it. You're going to have to at some point because we're going to run out of things, right? But there are so many different ideas. One of the things we threw out there that we could do next week is because we're not just doing rides, we're doing attractions and shows, is the Beauty and the Beast show.
Oh, interesting.
And I was like, that would be interesting because that's the storytelling, right? That's where you that's story time with Belle. Is it the same thing? I guess that's what he was talking about, but that would be interesting. It's like maybe you're walking up to Darth Vader and he's telling the story and you're part of the story, or it's Yoda and he's telling. I don't know. So it's fun to think about.
I could see a Cogsworth C-3PO in there.
Yeah,
that'd be perfect.
Yeah. All right, so tonight we're going to talk about BattleBots. It's BattleBots and May the 4th. Those are two of our favorite things. We thought this was a great time to talk about it. I was thinking about this just a while ago that last year at this time, I'm just about certain this is when we recorded the last BattleBots episode because probably Ryan was at Disney World again. And it's, I mean, if they're on the same schedule as far as the timing this year, it's very likely.
That is true. Yeah, May the 4th comes around, robot fighting time.
Yeah, exactly. Which is awesome. Last year I did an intro for you that was a BattleBots intro. I don't know if you remember that. It was just like Farouk does, and I decided to stay away from that this year. So. But that was,
give you a little break this year.
That's right. But before we get into that, I thought we could talk about some May the 4th things. Since it is May the 4th, we can't be a geek podcast without talking about May the 4th. So I found an article on Mashable that talks about all the best deals and drops. So we could kind of use that as a guide to go through, but I know there's some other things that dropped. There's some things on Disney Plus, some new shows, and some things that maybe most people didn't catch. There's something that I think that's this trailer that they showed. Let's talk about that real quick. There's a trailer that they played, and I want to say they premiered it a while back, like a few weeks ago, but it showed up on their Twitter again, and it talks about all the shows that are on Disney Plus. It's like all the Star Wars things, you know. And somewhere near the end, and I didn't see this, so I'm going on faith that mashup is correct. But at the end, near the end of the trailer, there is a scene that if you blink, you miss it. Is basically what they said. And I'm scrolling. I apologize. Let's see. There it is. But there's a real quick little thing with Jude Law and the Skeleton Crew.
Ooh.
Oh. So that was cool, I guess. But of course, we don't know too much about it, except that the show is about the younger characters, I guess is what it is. So,
which I gotta say real quick, Jude Law as Captain Hook.
That's right. Job. So we did have. Job. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. So there was a new show last week, and I haven't gotten to watch it yet. So that's the new Peter Pan and Wendy.
Yeah, Peter Pan and Wendy it was a movie. It was kind of telling the classic story of Peter Pan. Again, but unlike a lot of Disney's kind of live action remakes, they didn't go like frame per frame, like matching everything exactly. They mixed it up. They twisted some things here and there in the story. They even got like deeper into some of the characters, which was awesome.
Yeah.
I would recommend it. I enjoyed it.
I definitely want to check it out. I had kind of forgotten about it, and I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, I want to watch it," and then it just didn't work out. So I'm going to get back to it. But back to the Skeleton Crew.
Yes.
It is being released later this year. It's the first live action project that focuses mainly on younger characters. So I don't know what Jude Law had to do with Skeleton Crew, but he's not necessarily a younger.
Around 6 or 7.
That's right. When he was little, that's what they reported.
Yeah.
So I didn't catch it, but I mean, that's cool if that's in there, and a little sneak peek, I guess. But
nice. Like baby versions of C-3PO and R2-D2.
Yeah. Baby versions. Yeah. Which is kind of funny. Well, and that kind of segues into the one of the other things that they released today. The first, I guess, or maybe all the episodes. I don't know, but the Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures. Have you watched any of that yet?
I have not. I saw like a snippet of one of them on like TV. When I was out of town, I was like flipping through some channels, and I was like on Cartoon Network or one of those. And it was just a snippet of that, and it's a kid's show.
Yeah,
it's definitely a kid's show.
Yeah, I'm not sure about it. I haven't seen anything. Looking at the graphics for it, I'm just like, I don't know if I like this or not. But then again, it's still Star Wars. It'll probably be fine.
Yeah, it seemed like it was fun. Like I said, it's definitely geared towards the younger kids. And they'll really enjoy it until like the ending of the season when
they
all of them die.
That's true.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. Oh, I just got an idea for for Small World.
Oh no.
It would be so easy to redo Small World. I'm not going to give it away, but you can probably guess.
It's a Sith world after all.
Oh my goodness, it's going to be great. All right. That's going to be fun. I can't wait. Okay.
That'll be good.
So jury's still out on that one. We'll have to check it out. It just got released today, so I haven't had time to watch it. But I did get to watch the first episode of the new season of Visions.
I did as well.
You did.
I did get to watch the first episode.
Well, first, what did you think of this episode?
I thought it was great. I love the style. It was very painterly. It was very artistic. The animation was done really well. It was really nice. The story, I love the story. I mean, it's just like a 15-minute episode, but like it really sucked you into the characters, and
oh man,
you in very little telling or whatever, you kind of knew what was happening.
Yes,
you knew like there was this lengthy history with these characters already, and you could tell that.
Yeah, it was incredible, and it, you know, the art style that they used, which looked like a painting, went in with the theme of the episode as well. She, you know, without giving a whole lot away, she talked about painting her future, her life, you know, things like that, and that's what it was, you know, and it was something that I wanted so much more of. After watching, I was like, I could watch a whole series on this, and that happened last year as well. There were a couple of episodes where you're like, this needs to be like a all the time thing.
Especially with the first episode. It was they led with the strong episode last season, which was the duel, which was very
that was awesome.
Like a Japanese samurai, wandering samurai type thing, and that was really awesome. It had a cool surprise ending to it, and this one followed along that lines.
And I'd intended on watching more of the episodes, and we ended up watching BattleBots, which we'll talk about here momentarily. But I was looking through them, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like the rest of these. Like, they look like there's a couple that I could say, okay, that one probably is kind of like the one from last year, or this one's kind of like this one, maybe, and maybe they'll be fine. I'm sure they will be, but I feel like they knocked it out of the park with the first one, which and they're all out there now, so it's not like they haven't. You couldn't just go watch them all now, but it's I don't know. It was just pretty amazing. So.
Yeah, I am looking forward to the Aardman episode, the kind of stop motion claymation one.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
That'll be humorous. It'll be a humorous one, I'm sure. I think it's the one titled "I Am Your Mother."
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, for sure. It's a good, just something different to watch, and it's still Star Wars. It's man, gosh, I just can't. The first one was just so cool with the Sith, and the name of the title of the episode is called Sith, and I don't know, it's just really exciting to see it and something different, you know. So.
Yeah, I like it that they're giving like all these different places, like they're being able to do their own take.
Yes.
On like taking like the basic principles that you find in Star Wars and doing their whole own universe with it almost.
Yeah. It's like what's going on outside of the story that we know, right? And that was what I liked about watching Andor and some of these other shows that have little to do with what's going on with the rest of. I mean, Andor does have to do with what's going on in the rest of the world, but not directly, right? And what's great about these is that they're really off. You know, I want to know what the Sith's name was, like the bad guy in this first episode. I don't think they said it. You know, it's like I wonder if he's one that we know. Probably not. It's just something they made up. But I don't know. So the really cool thing about this episode too is that we know somebody that worked on this episode.
Yes, we do.
And in 2 weeks. So mark your calendars, May 18th. The plan is that he's going to be on our show. We're going to talk about his work on that episode and some other things that he's done and he's doing. So stay tuned, and be sure to subscribe and watch out for the episode, because that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, he's a fellow animator who's worked on things like Alita Battle Angel, Jurassic World, Ready Player One.
I know. I was looking at this evening, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I forgot that he did all of these." So
worked on Gravity. That was awesome, and like even worked on a Transformers movie. So he's done a lot of cool stuff. So
some really cool stuff. And so another schoolmate of ours from ETSU. So we're excited to have him on and talk about that. So, so again, stay tuned for that. All right. So the other cool thing about May the 4th is they're going to release some cool toys, not just toys, but other things. You know, there's dog toys as well. Collectibles. Yeah. There were some really cool Lego sets I don't know if you got a chance to look at those or not, but one of the things they're doing is they're creating these dioramas now, and where you can, I guess, put them on a bookshelf. And I've been really interested in those lately, and making not just Lego dioramas, but other types of dioramas, and been thinking about doing something like that. But they released one, as well as an X-Wing, a new X-Wing model that's really nice. And
yeah, that looks cool.
There's some more of the brick heads. So the brick heads are pretty cool because they're kind of like bobbleheads, but they're bricks.
Don't bobble.
They don't bobble unless you throw them, and then they'll fall apart. But they, I'm trying to. Okay, it was the Emperor's Throne Room. That's what it was. I was trying to think of what the diorama was, and that looks really cool. And so the diorama is just a scene, but it's meant to just be a showpiece and not something you play with, which is different than what Legos used to be, I guess. But when it comes to Star Wars, everything's collectible, right?
Yeah, everybody is turned into the dad from a Lego movie. You can't play with anything. It has to sit there and be perfect. You can't touch it.
Yes.
Not even glue it together so it doesn't fall apart.
Yes. There's an indoor. So this is another diorama. It's indoor speeder chase diorama. So the planet of Endor, not inside.
Well, I mean, technically it would be indoors because
that's right. You don't want to keep it outside.
No.
There's a Super Star Destroyer that's pretty awesome, and again another showpiece that just sits on this stand.
Don't touch it.
They've had Star Destroyers before, I thought.
Yeah, they've had some before. They built one in Spider-Man movie.
Yeah. And then the X-Wing, the new X-Wing that they have is pretty big. I don't know if you've seen pictures of it against like somebody else like sitting beside
I haven't. No.
$240 for this thing, but it again is on a stand. It's meant to be looked at and not played with, which I would anyways. But it's really cool. There were all kinds of deals for Legos today. A lot of the Lego items or displays and things were on sale just for today. There was, I think there was a good sale on a Millennium Falcon that was like 20% off. I guess is a good deal. I don't know. I'm sure it was still $500, whatever it was.
And it's still super expensive, but you can save a couple bucks.
So
I think the was it the original ship for the Mandalorian? I think was on sale on Amazon.
The Razor Crest, yes, the Razor Crest was on sale. Yeah. There was another Mandalorian ship. It was called the Fang Fighter, I guess is what it said. Let's see, Lego Mandalorian Fang Fighter versus TIE Interceptor.
Fang Fighter.
Which reminds me, when I saw TIE, so did you watch the Simpsons thing that they had?
I haven't watched it yet. Typically the Simpsons things that they do are just kind of
it had its moments. I mean, it's really short, 5 minutes long. There's some TIE fighters in it. I won't give away. I'll ask you about it later, what you think, but it was kind of weird. I got kind of picky on it. I was like, well, this couldn't happen, but okay, whatever. So anyway,
this can't happen in a cartoon.
This can't happen in Star Wars. But, there were a lot of different clothing items at Shop Disney that were released. Of course, what they call it, Roosevelt's, RSVLTS.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce those.
I think it's supposed to be. I used to think it was like a cool, hip way to spell results. I was like, okay, but it's supposed to be Roosevelt's, is what I remember.
Okay.
Which they sell button-down shirts that are kind of like Hawaiian shirts, is what I equate them to. But they have these Star Wars patterns that are really nice, but also $72 a piece, which is really kind of crazy. And then there was, of course, a limited edition replica of Cal Kestis's customized lightsaber hilt.
Yes, that probably went very fast.
From the Fallen Order. It's up for grabs for only $400. Only 7,000 of them were made. When I don't know if you saw the pictures, but it looks like it's tiny, and I'm sure it's just a picture, but it looks like it's like a pin. It's about the size of it, or something. But I'm sure it's a full size hilt. But I will say it looks better than the one that Ryan got last year. So because it looks a lot slimmer, and again, I don't know 100% about the picture, but it looks cool.
No, it looks cool. Like it looks like a dual saber that like can twist apart.
Yeah. Maybe like the one on Sith.
Maybe. In the game, supposedly, you can do a dual. You can click it together, use it as one, take it apart, use it as two. Yeah. Different stances you can take with it. So
I guess so. So, it sold out. So can't get it anyways. Darn.
Too bad. Sorry. Yeah, that probably went like super quick, and like
I'm sure
within a minute that was probably all gone.
Just about guarantee it's double or triple the price on eBay.
Oh yeah, probably like so. You said 7,000, probably like I don't know, 6,500 on eBay now.
Yeah. It's crazy. That whole market just blows my mind. People just go buy stuff to sell it, and it's the way of the world these days.
Little Star Wars news, because I saw that. Speaking of that, Bill Hader, who helped, I guess, do some of the voice modulating or whatever of BB-8, has said that he has stopped signing Star Wars memorabilia. He will not sign any Star Wars stuff brought to him because it was late at night at some event, and he overheard this dad telling his kid to go get his BB-8 signed so they could put it on eBay to sell. And he's like, nope, not doing it anymore. No more Star Wars.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, take a stand.
Good for him. Also on Shop Disney, there are some new Starbucks mugs. So these are really cool.
Yeah, those are cool.
I think I'd pay $25 for a mug. Which sounds ridiculous to say, but these are pretty cool because they're drawings. They are just sketches really of different. Like there's a Jakku and a Coruscant and a Mustafar.
Yeah, the Mustafar one's really cool.
Yes,
I really like that one. Coruscant's pretty cool. Jakku, like it's Jakku.
Yeah,
it's got some movies against it.
That's right.
It looks nice. It looks very nice. It's designed very well, but like I feel like you're just going to drink really bitter coffee out of it.
That's
really
right.
Bitter coffee,
like some Turkish coffee really that's got the grains.
I have to drink it, but I don't want to.
It's so coffee.
It's keeping me awake, but making me angry.
It's kind of like when the movies came out, the newer ones. It's like it's Star Wars. I guess we'll watch it.
Yeah, watch it. It's Star Wars.
The first one was good. Return. Whatever, the Force Awakens. That's the
yes.
Which, speaking of Return of the Jedi hit its 40th anniversary, and they put it in theaters last weekend, and our family went to see it, and we had a lot of fun. I kind of expected people to dress up and be at Star Wars, but be at the movie, but they weren't. Everybody just had a Star Wars T-shirt, and everybody was pretty civil. They were clapping at the beginning and the end. I was like, okay.
All right, we get it.
We get it. But it was fun. It was, of course, not the original version. It was the most recent version that they have on Disney Plus, I suppose. So,
yeah, the enhanced.
Yes, enhanced
version. They do have some 40th anniversary kind of clothing and various things on Shop Disney as well that they dropped. There's a fun sweatshirt on there.
Yep.
Yeah, some fun shirts, pins, things like that.
Yeah, and then Luke Skywalker's 40th anniversary legacy lightsaber set. This one is only, and this is the one from Return of the Jedi. It's only $250, and it's not sold out. So
no, it is not.
I don't think this is a new one though, right? it does say 40th anniversary legacy lightsaber.
Yeah,
but I believe they've sold this. I could be wrong. Ryan would be able to know 100% for sure.
he would.
I mean,
would know.
It's a really nice looking lightsaber, and it comes
Yeah.
apart, which is pretty cool. It comes out and or goes to pieces, you know.
But yeah, it still has that, because it has the thin hilt at the top. You still have to take that top off, put a thicker top on, so you can put a blade in it. That's what that is. Yeah. They haven't worked out the technology for the thin one yet.
Okay, well, I guess I wouldn't know what to do with a lightsaber here at the house, because I've got one behind me here, but it doesn't work. I messed it up, so it's just sitting there, and we don't use it. Which I know Ryan doesn't battle with his necessarily, but Chris is showing a picture of the saber on the screen.
So you would think that they would just make this part of the blade, and so like a ring thing, but and so. Like the blade is just attached to that, so you just have a separate piece, so you could still be thin.
Yeah.
So you just take that off and put one on that has a blade already attached to it. You think maybe they could do that?
Yeah. Something.
Yeah. So make it one piece rather than like this big, thick, chunky piece that you have to put on. I don't know. Maybe they can't.
That does look kind of cheesy with the bigger one on there.
And I see why they do it, because you can put different blades in there and stuff like that.
Yeah, totally get it, but it cheapens it quite a bit. Like when you see the pictures of it with the blade in it, you're just like, that doesn't look like the same lightsaber at all. Because that's the cool thing about it, is it's got these different features to it, or shapes that aren't, it's just not just a big tube, you know, and that's what it turns into when you put the other part on there. But anyways, that it's still out of my price range. So
it's still
for
expensive.
me. So
speaking of price range, they also Sideshow dropped quite a few things today as well, quite a few hot toys that they did, which is really cool. Some of them were the prequels, like figures. They showed kind of like a preview of some of those that are going to be coming out. They showed ones from the Obi-Wan series, so all the characters from that are getting their own Hot Toys figure.
Cool. Yeah, cool.
That looks really cool. They also showed the Bad Batch, all the Bad Batch. They put pictures of those out, which I think some of those already been out, but like they did like some nice collages showing all of them, as well as like Clone Wars. They showed some nice figures of those, and a new Darth Sidious coming out.
That's cool.
It looks like a younger kind of Darth Sidious.
Yeah.
Before he got disfigured. So that looks cool. He comes with like dual red lightsabers.
Nice. You said there were some Funko Pops that came out as well.
Yeah, Funko also, like they're not gonna just sit around not do anything on Star Wars Day.
The biggest Star Wars Day.
Of course, they're gonna put stuff out. They did a Mega Darth Vader, which is very shiny. They got like red lights like flickering on and off on it. It's very shiny and it's giant. Well, they're giant pops, which is really cool. And then they've got some of the ones with like them and like the vehicles, like the TIE fighters, and
kind of like the Disney rides almost. The
X-wings, stuff like that. It's like one of those like rides you find outside of a grocery store.
Put a quarter
the kids sit in. Those like those.
That's cool though.
And then some Battlefront 2 set ones.
Oh man.
And also from Obi-Wan, like the pops from those, like a young Luke and the like yellow robot that helps them, and then the Sith guys, all that. So
I like the cool stuff, I see the Darth Vader with the partial mask broken off, like when he's battling with Obi-Wan. That looks pretty cool. That might be one I would get.
Yeah, that one's nice.
Yeah,
I like that one.
That's cool.
The only little Leia they got is on a keychain. I'm not sure why they didn't do.
Yeah, that's weird.
Top of her.
Maybe.
And they probably already did, but like
maybe so.
Think. Yeah.
The Inquisitors are pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, the Inquisitors are really cool. Yeah, like that. But that Darth Vader with his helmet slashed open is really cool. That was also in the Hot Toys. That was what he looks like in the Hot Toys.
Oh, cool.
Broken open.
Well, time to spend some money.
Yeah.
So one other thing that I found that I am just about ready to buy is we have Echoes, Amazon Echoes throughout our house. So Amazon knows all our business, whatever, who cares? They have these cool helmet stands or holders, I guess is what they call them, that you can get on Amazon that are different helmets. So there's a Mandalorian helmet and there's a, gosh, hold on. There was a Darth Vader. Yeah, Darth Vader. And then there was a Stormtrooper, right?
Stormtrooper, yeah.
Yeah. Those are really cool. They're $40, I think.
They are $40.
And you have to have a certain generation of the Echo Dot, which we don't have. We have an
fourth and fifth.
Yeah.
We don't have an Amazon Echo, so maybe I could put like an Apple in there or something.
I know. They've had some cool ones. Like they had a holder. The ones that for our version that we have it's just like the little puck. They had a holder that looked like Yoda's face and ears. I guess the ears stick out from it. So that was kind of cool. And I saw an Epcot one that somebody made, which is kind of cool that you put it on top of. But
that's cool.
So yeah, I may have to upgrade and get one of those because they light up too.
Yeah, that's nice.
Which is really cool. So I don't know, but man, means I got to get more things.
Yeah. And you get the Darth Vader one, you're just like, who's my father?
I do not know. Would you like me to call your dad? It's probably what I would do.
Calling. Yeah. Dad Catron.
That's right. Yeah. All right. So another fun May the 4th is in the books. We've gotten all these great new things to look at. There were video game deals too, but they're only for today. So like if you don't have the Lego Star Wars game, that's the most recent one, that one is on sale. Of course, which nobody is watching the live stream right now, but if you happen to be listening right now and it's still Thursday, May the 4th, then you might be able to get some of those deals.
Yeah, even the new game, the new Jedi game, even had some deals on that.
Yes, it was on sale, and you could get a $10 gift card as well, which is pretty cool. Which that game looks incredible. I don't have a modern system to play it on, except for maybe my PC, but I'm pretty sure it would probably blow it up. So we'll just wait.
There you go.
So. All right, so that's May the 4th. So May the 4th be with you, and
with you,
and with you, and this is the way. That's all the things you're supposed to say, I think. So, so all right, on to BattleBots. BattleBots is one of our favorite shows. So it's probably proper. I know Ryan likes it as well, but you and I enjoy it a lot more.
I think so.
Than Ryan does, and it's gotten to be a bit bigger than it used to be. So BattleBots, we talked about the history of it a while back, but it started a while ago on ABC, I think, several years ago.
Maybe not. Comedy Central.
Maybe it was Comedy Central, then ABC, and now it's on Discovery. But the sport is actually bigger than just BattleBots, right?
There are lots of tournaments throughout the year, like all over the world.
In Texas and Tennessee and all over, almost every state has some sort of event this year that you can go see people fighting, doing robot combat.
Even at Comicpalooza, they had them last year.
That's right. So there's different weight classes too. So we got to see some of the, I guess, probably the lightweight bots battle. Those are the really small ones, and then what you normally see on the BattleBot show are the heavyweights, which are up to 250 pounds. But it's getting to be pretty big.
Which is real quick. Comicpalooza, May 26th through 28th.
That's right. Yes, iamGEEK
will be there. Ryan and myself will be there. Catron unfortunately cannot go, even though his two main squeezes are going to be there. The Salvatore brothers from Vampire Diaries.
That's true.
Long lost loves.
I know. I'm sad.
Won't get to see. I'm so sorry.
I wish I could be there. But we've got things going on and other trips that we need to make. So if Comic Palooza would pay for my plane ticket, then I'd be there in an instant. We're not that big.
No, we're not. But yeah, so. We'll at least both be there Saturday and Sunday, the 27th, 28th.
Yeah,
I believe we're doing like a floor show, some sort. I don't know.
All the things,
and we'll be around.
Yeah. So it looks like a fun event this year. They've got lots of different actors and performers and different things that people that will be there. I'm sure they're keeping the same format that they've done, where they have the show floor filled with stages, which I felt like got kind of noisy at times, but it's also kind of fun because you're just there. You see everything at once instead of having to go upstairs to go to these rooms and try to find things. So that'll be good. Well, if you're in the Houston area, be sure to check out Comic Palooza. You can go to comicpalooza.com and find all the information about who's going to be there and get your tickets and get there early too, because people. Well, actually, you know what? One of the things I learned, we went to a Lego convention a couple weeks ago. It was actually just called a brick convention. It wasn't Lego, but they had Lego things there. And we bought a ticket that was for Saturday from 10 to 1. And then there were tickets you could get from 2 to 4 or something like that. I don't know, whatever it was. And we're like, okay, let's get there right at 10. And that way we beat everybody. Well, apparently everybody had the same idea and they only had like 2 doors open. So we had to wait in this long line to get in. And there was a little bit of a security thing you had to go through, which was nothing. And nobody's cosplaying, so it wasn't like this big deal or anything. But if we had waited till closer to 1 o'clock, we'll say, maybe even 11:30, it was almost empty because everybody came at the beginning. You couldn't walk around and see everything too well. So it definitely would have been better if we got in there later. So maybe it would be better to go to Comic Palooza a little bit later in the day and not get there right when they open.
It depends on the schedule if you might want to see.
I was going to say,
and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, like right off the bat, there'll probably be quite a few people hitting the show floor.
Yeah.
So yeah, if that's what you're looking forward to, show floor, maybe show a little bit later. Maybe a little bit.
The show floor ain't going nowhere, and they got tons of stuff. Those vendors have so much stuff. There's so many Funko Pop vendors, and they all have the same thing. And that was the thing with the Lego convention. It was that they had a bunch of different vendors that were all selling minifigs, and there was one that was selling them for about $1 cheaper than the other. But the way it was kind of situated, we ended up at the most expensive one, and we're like, yes, I want those. And he got some, and my son got some, and then we went to the other one. We're like, dadgummit, this one's sold cheaper. And one guy gave us a deal because we bought so many of one. But my son's really into the Star Wars Funkos, Legos, and there's a lot of characters that people custom make, either 3D printing them or just painting them or whatever, and so that's what he's into. And if you're really looking for deals, then last day on Sunday, that's true.
Start to like mark down stuff. You can haggle a little bit better because they don't want to pack it all up, take it home.
That's right. Exactly. And it's not as crazy busy too, so because it can get kind of crazy with everybody walking around. So anyways, Comic Palooza. All right, so back to BattleBots. Yes. So this season is World Championship 7. They finished filming it in October of last year, and it's been going on Discovery Plus and Discovery Go since January 1st through April 27th. So it just finished, and we've just started. Now, that was just the season, right?
Yeah,
now we're starting
the pre-matches.
Yeah, we're starting the tournament. So which was cool. I really liked the format that they had this year.
Yeah. I did too. It was nice. Because before, like pre-tournament, you see a lot more variation of bots. like even ones that like are newcomers. We saw one that had a chainsaw on top of it, of a Roomba, basically.
Yeah, Doomba was his name.
Yeah, that was an interesting bot. It didn't move on, but it was an interesting bot.
Yes. Yeah, there were a lot of those bots, and that were kind of unique, had unique builds, and were not the standard ones that you see. And then one of the new ones, Ripperoni, which a lot of these had people that worked with different teams, so they're not new to BattleBots, but they're new. They have new robots that were fighting. But Ripperoni really came out guns a-blazing, or blades a-blazing, whatever you want to call it, and they did some damage.
Yeah, they beat one of the giant nut winners from a previous season, in-game. They took down in-game.
Yeah.
I mean, in-game was a little bit like, oh, we kind of beat ourselves because we got stuck on a thing. I'm like, no, man, you got beat. You got beat by a pizza. Just take it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But another new one that was Starchild, which is this giant robot that's like the robot Huge, which I hate. Huge. I've never liked Huge.
Oh, I like
because I'm like, how is this going to work? And the crazy thing is, this year Huge is one of the best in the tournament, and I don't understand.
5 fights, 5 wins, not a loss.
I don't understand it.
They've won every match. It's amazing.
I don't know if it's just because the guy's a really good driver, or they finally figured out how to win, or if it's the people they've battled against.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit of both. But I feel like their robot is tuned in this season.
Yeah.
A little bit, because I've seen them like get split in half.
Yes.
In seasons past, which was amazing. But they've done it. They did a good job. They've tonight they were up against Scorpios, which
has not had a great season.
No, long time BattleBot participant, but
yeah,
they've.
I was kind of surprised they got into the tournament, actually, but I think it's they wanted to make sure they had the big names, because there were a couple that ended up in the tournament. I was like, oh, really?
Yeah, some of it's based on definitely like fan service, like how they perform, people wanting to see them. Did they put on a good show?
Right.
Type thing. So that kind of goes into a little bit of who gets picked. So got to perform.
In fact, that was one of the rules that they had this year. Kind of, they wanted the action to just keep going. You couldn't just sit back and watch the other bot die, essentially, because as long as the other battle bot is moving, they're still alive. Because before, in previous years, if they were crab walking, what they call crab walking, where one side is maybe not working as well and they're kind of making their way around, if they were doing that, sometimes they would get counted out. But this year they said, as long as you show some sort of movement, then you're still in it. And then, what that also means is the person or the robot that's attacking must keep attacking, and which is risky.
Right? That is true,
and it happens all the time.
Yeah, you've seen them hurt themselves more often than not, which actually happened in a match tonight. I mean, I guess spoilers.
That's
spoilers. Between Lockjaw and Bloodsport. Bloodsport was. I feel like they were winning the match.
They had the match. Yeah,
they had it, and then they went in for a hit that they shouldn't have, and it flipped them up over on their head and caused them to lose the match because Lockjaw was kind of crab walking a bit.
Lockjaw has the biggest problem with Lockjaw is he uses those stupid rubber tires.
It's those wheels,
and they always get torn up. Like, you have blades flying around on almost every bot. Unless you're going against a flipper bot, you're going to get torn up, and it happens every match. And he's won a couple this year, surprisingly.
Yeah.
But
he's good, and in the past seasons, he's really gotten up there. But these past few seasons, not so great because those tires. I was saying that tonight too, actually. Yeah. And I was watching, and I was like, he needs to do something about those tires. They're just giant. They're right out there. It's like almost like a fourth of the bot that is there. It's a prominent hit Like, I don't know.
And the wheels that the tires go on to just look so beat up every time, like they're just bent up. And I'm like, does he have more of the actual wheels? And every time he's got to put those on, because every time they get messed up.
Oh, every time. Yeah. It's expensive. It's got to be expensive to replace these things.
Yeah, I'm sure it
is.
is.
Some of these matches tonight, like they're just looking at like, wow, that's a complete redo on that bot. That bot is not
gonna make it.
Not gonna make it. It's dead. They're gonna have to make a whole new one of that. I believe, it was the Witch Doctor Jackpot fight.
Yes.
When that was done, Jackpot was sunk. Like that thing, like it had just giant dents in everything.
Was that the one that was like, it looked like it was twisted?
It looked twisted and bent in on itself.
It was unreal. Yeah.
It is crazy. There was a lot of good matches tonight on the first bracket.
It
was good.
Back real quick, we were talking a little bit about the new Battlebots this year. So Starchild, we mentioned Huge, and we got off on a tangent, but Starchild looks like Huge in some ways.
Yeah.
It has the big wheels. So if you've never seen Huge, this robot is huge. It's large. It has these really big wheels, tall wheels. And it has in the middle, it has a blade that spins, and it's really big. Well, Starchild is very similar, except that it uses this almost like a catapult kind of method where it slings its blade and tries to hit it, and it's not a good design.
It's like an axe. I mean, maybe it could be effective, but I don't think they really knew how to drive it.
No,
I don't think they had enough practice with it to really understand what to do with it.
Yeah,
because it seemed like it could possibly hit pretty hard if they got it moving correctly, but I don't think they could. I don't think they got it figured out.
Yeah. So one of the things they did really well this season too was each team knew what 4 battles they were going to do, and everybody knew what 4 battles they were going to do. So we knew, and you could anticipate what they were going to do, and they did a really good job at the matchups. And sometimes you're like, oh, of course they matched up. Some people like Hypershock had all these really bad draws. They ended up with the toughest bots out there. But with Starchild, you were just waiting for that moment when Starchild and Huge battled, because they were the same bot almost. And when they did, Huge destroyed him. Like it was such a wreck, because the wheels on Starchild are not the same material that Huge has, I don't think. And it was it was devastating.
They got ripped to shreds. That was
but it was cool. I mean, the last matches, some of them were easy peasy, but there were a lot that were. It was neat to see like how it kind of ended up. You're like, okay, I've been waiting for this one match because that's their best matchup or whatever. And some of them, so it makes you wonder on. A lot of them seem like, okay, they planned that, and then some of them seemed random, because you're like, man, that's not fair, But like with Hypershock, but because I've always kind of liked Hypershock a little bit.
He's
that bot is really neat. It's really well done and just sleek looking. Again, he has the rubber wheels though.
Rubber. He's a good driver too. He is a good driver. He always seems like a bit of an underdog kind of character. Yeah, you can't help but kind of root for him.
He's probably very rich too. He just has the nicest stuff, and it's like, man, grief. Why don't you try to win sometimes? But so that's a pretty neat thing that they've done this year, and of course now they've all gotten into this tournament. We did have some other new ones that we didn't mention. The Dragon King had 2 blades. That was also
it was pretty
that was run by the same people that did Scorpios. I don't know if you noticed that they had these skulls that they were wearing. You couldn't see their faces. It's like these I don't know what, dragon skulls or whatever, and it was actually the people from Scorpios.
Really?
But Dragon King had the 2 saw blades that kind of were at an angle, and it just didn't work.
It was a fun design.
But it was cool.
It was a fun design, but it didn't quite work. It wasn't really sawing into anything.
And then Horizon was the one where I really had to scratch my head, and I was like, why did they get into this? Because the Horizon was this long bot that had 2 spinners on a spinner on each end, and the whole body could spin as well, and it just never worked, and it was just so slow. It's like it's like a little kid trying to hit you. Or something.
It's really wide. Seems very flimsy and light.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they have a weight limit that they have to.
Right. 250 pounds is the weight limit. Yeah.
Keep under. So I mean, it never, like, either end never looked like it was spinning very fast or spinning at all. It was a rough first season for them.
Yeah. And then one other notable bot was Kraken. It had a new design.
Yeah.
So Kraken traditionally has been this, what do you call it? It had a
Pincher,
chomping pincher kind of functionality where it could puncture a battery or something like that. It never worked because it was just so hard to get somebody could still long enough. And there is one bot that made that work, the Quantum, which is in the tournament. And is one of the top this year. One of the best bots.
He managed to, like, really sink its teeth into some of them this year. I was very surprised by that because typically you don't really see that with these kind of chomp bots or whatever. But I'm glad Kraken's still around. He didn't just give up. I like that team. It's a fun team.
It's a family too, right? This guy works for NASA, but his looks kind of like it's called Kraken, but it looks like a dragon or sea monster of sorts,
Yeah, it's a sea monster thing.
The new one, it kind of has an arm that goes up and down and a turning blade, which I'm not a big fan of. Like, gosh, what is that one? The green one there's a couple of green ones that do kind of the chomping, like Scorpios does, and it's I don't see how those do well, to be honest. Like, just keep it straight ahead. I don't know.
It doesn't seem like they necessarily get spun up as fast as some of these others that keep it like situated.
And it's almost it's a hammer, and it spins. But it doesn't ever seem to hit hard.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And then I was really surprised we didn't see any Tombstone this year. I don't remember what happened to him.
Shocked by that too. Yeah, I was trying to find that. I didn't see why but he just kind of took the season off. He didn't do well last season.
No, everybody's kind of figured him out. So
so maybe he's kind of stepping back and like kind of reconfiguring and come back stronger, I hope.
And he may be. Real quick, they've got now a new show in Vegas that they're doing. It's a daily or weekly show that they're doing. I don't remember if it's daily or not, but you can see some of these battle bots that are on the show battle it out with, I guess, random bots or whatever. And I've thought about going. It's just started, so I'll have to see how it goes. But their tickets aren't cheap, but I think it'd be a lot of fun to go see that. But maybe that's where Tombstone is. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe he'll show up there every once in a while. And maybe he just, like I said, everybody's figured him out, so maybe he's not doing it anymore. But but it's a way that new show is a way for them to test out new robots and we did get to see a few more of those concept robots that weren't going to make it. That was kind of fun. But they're the hosts of that show, in case you're curious. It's hosted by Bill Dwyer, the former host of the show on Comedy Central, and Steve Judkins.
Interesting.
So but that'd be fun if you're in Vegas. Go check that out. So back to the tournament, we saw the first round of the tournament, or a part of the first round. I guess the first half of the first round.
It's like the blocks like 2 and 4 or something like that. It's like block 1, 2, 3, and 4. We saw basically if you go to battlebots.com, like the website, they have the bracket that you can look at and download, and basically the right side of the bracket is what they did tonight.
Yeah, it looks a lot different on TV. The bracket they used, it was very confusing to me, but I mean, not confusing. It just looks way different. This makes more sense for some reason, but we saw Riptide and Shatter, Lucky and Hypershock, In-Game and Tantrum. So, and some of these were like rematches and really good matches, which I mean, it was.
Yeah, the In-Game and Tantrum, I wasn't sure who was going to win that one. They're both Giant Nut winners. Tantrum was the winner last season. In-Game, I believe, the season before, and I was kind of like, I was on edge. I didn't know who was going to
win. So that was pretty cool. They did an after show this year too. That I guess they'll do every week is what their plan is.
Looks like it.
Road to the Giant Nut, and they did what they call it, a bot-topsy of the robot that got destroyed. One of the robots that got destroyed this
Shatter.
week.
It was
Shatter,
yeah.
Oh, and of course, there was some controversy with that, and which was funny. But
I have a theory that no other team really likes the Riptide team.
I think that's true.
I don't think
they're a little cocky.
Yeah, the sportsmanship not as great.
Yeah.
So it seems like a lot of teams are not happy with them, especially one of the ones in the pre-matches, which was Captain Shredderator. That team did not like them because they were pretty much down. They were out, and Riptide kept going at them. And he was just like, just stop. And they wouldn't stop.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, they're the new bad guys. But, and Hydro was made into a bad guy at one point, and he still kind of is, I guess. But it's at the same time, I don't think he would be that way. Like, I don't think he would destroy a bot just to destroy a bot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not one of my favorite teams, but he hasn't been as bad this season. In past seasons, he's really played up the villain role,
right?
And I'm just kind of like, just bad,
right? Yeah, and I think he knows he's not indestructible. He's not won it yet, so he's humbled a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm excited for the rest of the tournament.
Next week.
I'm just glad there's more BattleBots and it's not over yet.
Oh yeah. I was there's 3 more episodes, right? I believe.
Well, yeah, because they've got to do the other side, and then eventually of course you're losing bots as you go. So yes, it should get shorter and shorter. So it goes through end of the month, maybe.
The 25th is the final. So yeah, it looks like the 11th, 18th. Oh, maybe just 2 more episodes.
What?
Or no, 3. It's the 11th, 18th, and the 25th.
Yeah.
We'll
know
final
soon.
3 episodes.
I don't know.
And I'm looking forward to next week. There's some good matches on there.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any favorites for who you like? And then we can say who you think might win.
Well,
it could be different.
I really like Ripperoni.
Yeah.
They're the new guys in town. They've proven themselves. It was I think 3-1 in 3 wins to 1 loss. I think. Yeah,
it's been a surprise.
Yeah, they're surprising, and they're a fun team. They have fun with themselves. So I'm really liking them. I mean, I'm always a fan of Whiplash. I like Whiplash. Rearbot's kind of fun to watch just because it's kind of ridiculous looking. Sawblaze is always good.
Yeah,
I like Sawblaze. But yeah, Minotaur, they got some bloodlust this season. They're really wanting to win.
Yeah, they had their rematch last week against Witch Doctor.
Yes,
and
I like Witch Doctor too.
Yeah, I do too. And last season, it was a split decision, and
it was controversial.
Which yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, it was just why they a new rule they introduced this season because of that.
That's
was I believe each team can one time call for an appeal.
That's right. So if it's a split decision and they disagree with what the split decision is, you can appeal. And the problem is if you appeal early in the season, you might get it, but then you don't have it for later. And so far, I don't think has there been anybody that won. Maybe one.
There was one. There was one that got overturned. There haven't been that many appeals.
Yeah,
that have happened. They're probably been saving them for the final tournament here.
It's the smart thing to do because those first 4 matches, as long as you're competitive and making a good show, they were gonna bring you into the tournament. It appears. It's like now that we know how that's going, it's like, okay, so like Shatter, again, they're just a bot that's been there for so long. They did terrible, but they made it into the tournament. It's like there wasn't anybody else. But as long as you're putting on a good show and you've got a personality, I think they were gonna put them in. Which I think there were only 50 bots, right? And they had to bring it down to 32 or maybe not even 50. I don't know, but yeah, I think I one of the bots I really like is Cobalt. He had a match last week. He just destroyed whoever he was fighting. I can't think of who it was right now, but he man, I wish I could remember what it was, but it was insane. Like that weapon is so powerful.
Yeah.
The problem is I mean, they're all do the spinner, and somebody made a comment about that last week. It's like, oh, at least it's not a spinner. It's like they all do it, but I mean, it's the most destructive. I don't know, but but the design of it and the weight of it, it's just so destructive. Now they've lost. I mean, they're not great, but if they're on, then they're on.
Yeah.
So, I kind of thought, oh man, what is that one that rushes all the time and he ended up losing this week?
Yeah, super fast. He
Claw Viper,
like a rocket. Yeah, Claw Viper. Yeah,
Claw Viper took on Mad Catter, and it was a good battle. I think all the battles were good.
It was, week. Yeah, they were all good. Yeah, that was another match that I feel like Claw Viper was up in the match, and then it turned quickly. It flipped. Literally flipped.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So Copperhead's always been one of my favorites. I just like I like the drum spinners like that, but but I don't think he's gonna do very well. With all the struggles he had with Rotator, I was like, he's not gonna do well.
And his next match is up against Endgame.
Yeah, it's gonna be yeah. I think so. I don't know. Could be interesting. Who I think will probably win it. It'll probably be Riptide at this point. Maybe Ripperoni. I don't know. It's like or in game. I don't know.
I feel like Riptide's going to be one of the final ones. I feel like they might be able to take down in game. I think in the one category where Witch Doctor is, I think they'll probably move to the front of that pack.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like I said, Minotaur before. I think they're going to really be up there. They're doing well, and they're really they're hangry for it.
Yeah. The thing with Huge, because Huge won, and it's got to go against Mad Catter next, and they may win that one. But if you just hit them the right way,
we've seen like their tires getting taken out before.
Yeah. So I don't know. Witch Doctor will eventually face Huge if it works out for them. So that I think that's going to be the end of that run if they make it that far. But
yeah, Witch Doctor's good.
Yeah. So Hypershock and Riptide will go against each other next week. So that's I think the end of Hypershock's run there. So
Hypershock's probably
which I guess not next week, but because we have to do the other side. Following. Black Dragon, I really hated for them to lose the last match that they did because they were going to break or meet the record, have the same record as the number of non-knockouts. They had 24 and the record was 25 consecutive matches. So
their first match is against Ripperoni.
I know that'll be interesting. Ripperoni's first battle though, they had some troubles. I don't know if you remember that though, because
they had some issues.
It's a weird design, not just their blade, but they have the configuration of their wheels. Like one of them smaller maybe, or the way it's angled or something is weird, but they changed something and made it way better. And then we're able to win the rest of their matches after that. So
I like them. I hope they go far. No offense to Black Dragon.
Yeah. If you're listening, Black Dragon.
If you're listening, Black Dragon, no offense. I like pizza. I can't help
That's
it.
Right.
Grew up on it. I love it. Ninja Turtles.
That's right. Yeah. So we'll see. Blip has kind of been a letdown this year to Switchback. I don't get that robot. I don't know why it's 16th. Good grief. And of course, Fusion continues to have troubles, and will lose its first battle against Minotaur. So
yeah. Whiplash. I think Whiplash. It might. They're always good. They're really good drivers.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily have the best weapon,
right?
But they're very strategic and they're a really good driver. So that I don't know. We'll see. I think they'll beat Beta.
Yeah.
And
they'll beat
Hydra. I'm not sure. I don't know if they'll get past Hydra. We'll see. He's been doing pretty well.
Yeah, it's hard because Hydra is so low to the ground and can flip people very easily.
I think that's what I don't necessarily like about his fighting is that he just kind of sits there and just waits.
Turns.
Which, I mean, it's strategic.
Yeah.
Like it works, but it's just not fun to watch.
No, I don't like flippers.
No.
It's very destructive, especially with Hydra because he can send them so high up in the air.
Yeah.
But it would be very interesting if Minotaur and Riptide ended up being the last two. They've positioned it that way, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But
yeah, that would be interesting.
They're very similar, but different too, because the drum on Riptide is a bit bigger than Minotaur's, but Minotaur's hit so hard.
A little bit more reach.
Yeah.
Yeah, Minotaur, again, really good driver. So
yeah,
we might could get around.
But his weakness is that whenever he gets flipped over or goes too fast, he ends up kind of going up on his side. And if you catch him just right,
that's true.
Hit him really hard, which again, Riptide hits pretty hard. And we've not really seen Riptide struggle. So that's where will be interesting because, man, there's a couple of battles that he just took him out in the first 15 seconds or 30 seconds, however long it takes to do that. But just like Endgame, though, too. I mean, Endgame's done the same thing. So I don't know. Well, we shall see, though. We haven't, like you said, we have 3 more weeks of this, and I'm excited. I'm sad it's going to be gone for another year, I guess, at the point. But maybe it will gain some more popularity from our show. No, just from it being on there. Now that they've got a daily show that's in Vegas, I believe it is daily. Maybe that's going to help things as well. It's still kind of a nerdy thing, I guess, that not everybody can get into. But man, they put on a good show with the really announcers that they have and the characters they have. And Farouk is great. And so maybe one day it will be better.
Yes.
All right. Well, we've been going for 1 hour and 12 minutes. Can you believe it?
No, I cannot.
So thank you all for hanging in there with us. This has been episode 273 of iamGEEK. Thank you for listening to the show. And if you're watching the live stream that we did, thank you for watching. Be sure to come back in a couple of weeks. Don't forget about our very cool interview we're going to have with a Visions animator. And then next week, if you're listening to this, I guess on May the 5th or whenever this comes out, we will have another episode of Living with the Landspeeder. We're not sure which ride we're going to retheme or Star Warsify, so you'll have to tune in to find out. So make sure you're following us, Living with the Landspeeder, and also on iamGEEK. And we'll talk to you real soon. Good night, everybody.
Geek.